Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We're here with war number 9 of season 48, and Matrix has matched up against C.Av, C.Av, and today I have a 8-fight war, including a rank 5 ascended Onslaught Boss with Hulkling, which is going to be a lot of fun, and that fight is really cool. I got my assignments, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to join right now. And then like an hour and a half later, I guess it would have been. Wait, if I get an energy every 45 minutes, then it costs me 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is about 2.5 hours after I joined. And you see, only one other person has joined in my BG. I cleared the boss. I cleared the map before even a third person had joined. Which is kind of funny. But today I have the team of Hulkling, Hood, and Mole Man, and we are taking this Hulk on Path 1, Section 1. And there's a lot of regen to this node, but the strat here is to just build up our buffs, get to an L2, make sure we only let him throw his L1, and just basically watch out for him going unblockable. No, unstoppable. There we go. I got it on the third try. But just take this fight slow. You're not at any risk to time out here because Hulkling hits so hard. Here, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I threw this L2. I should have just dashed back and waited, and I would have been completely fine to get 2 Furies here. But you'll notice I am dashing back quite a bit to get rid of those regens. And then here, right before I push him unstoppable, I am going to bait out the special. So even if he does go unstoppable, I mean when he does go unstoppable, I'm going to be able to have him stunned at 0 power. So there's literally nothing he can do. Here, I just want him to block. Going to do a 5-hit combo into his block, throw the SP2. We're doing a lot of damage. And then here, I think I just parry and he's dead. Yeah, okay. So, took a little bit under a minute and a half. Not a bad fight considering Hulkling counters Hulk in no way whatsoever. But next fight here on the Masochism node, we have Kate Bishop with Hood. This is a pretty straightforward fight. Now, of course, she does have an L1 that you want to dex usually, so I'll make sure I have a bunch of prowess. And then here, I have enough prowesses to completely shut off the Shrug Off node. So you'll notice I did that. Here, I just need to activate my invisibility. She charged her heavy, giving me the perfect opportunity. And unfortunately, I did not get any power steals here, so I went for another parry. But my L2 with the power backs I have on did get me back to a bar of power. Trying to preserve my bullets a little bit here, but I am going to be able to kill with an L2. And pretty simple fight. Nothing really went wrong there. And we'll go on to Section 2. This is the only fight in the war that I was not too happy with. I've seen other people take this Shuri with Hulkling, and they normally get it done in about 2 minutes. This fight's going to take me a little under 3.5 minutes, and the reason is that I just didn't do a good job at all of making sure that I had my Furies up while the protection is down. And I should have just been doing a better job of that. I should have been getting Shuri to 0 power, knocking her down, and then hitting her. And I just wasn't really doing a good job of that. In this matchup, you cannot heavy counter heavy. Hulkling's heavy attack does not have the range to counter Shuri's heavy attack, and I knew that. So I'm not going to try that. I have tried it before, and I've died. No, I didn't die. But like I've gotten hit in battlegrounds in this matchup because of it. Also, in this matchup, you're going to notice I block a lot trying to bait out heavies. She's not going to be too nice about it, unfortunately. But here we're going to throw off our first L2. Does some good damage, but of course that damage is getting 75% resisted. And then here, I don't know what I'm doing. I have the protection down, and I'm going to waste the entirety of my Furies removing all of her armor ups. Like, okay, I kind of get it. I wasn't really doing much damage, and I'm not on pace to time out or anything. But I watched this fight back as soon as I finished all my fights, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing here. It was really stupid. So here I'm going to go for a striker, and that striker is going to go into a heavy attack. But, of course, the Intimidate's not going to work, and she's going to aggressively hit me, pushing me to a special 3. I'm going to bait this out. Like, somehow she got more aggressive there instead of blocking, which is what she should have done. But I got pushed to my L3, threw it, left her at 1 bar of power, and at this point I'm losing the fight. Now, I think those are the only hits I'm going to take in this fight. I'm going to take some blocked hits. But it's just, like, really annoying. It's just really annoying that she did that. And I mean, it's my fault for just expecting the AI to be nice. I'm not saying it's not my fault. It's 100% my fault. I got hit because I messed up. But she was also contributing to that by being very annoying. And here, I don't know why I'm not evading her L1. I know how to do it really consistently. I'm just acting like a complete moron this entire fight. Here, I threw a couple hits to get my my buffs up. There, she's finally going to block. And remember that in the matchup of Hulkling versus Shuri, you do have to do 1 hit after you go unblockable. Because if you go unblockable and then throw the L2, Shuri can block it. Because she can block unblockable specials, but not unblockable attacks. And I've made that mistake before. In War. In fact, it was on node 41 that Shuri was on. And I made that mistake. And this is the first time I'd ever done the matchup in Battlegrounds or in War. Or in anywhere, pretty much. And yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. I still soloed, but the fight got really scary because she went unblockable during a specialty. Not fun. Here, trying to get her to block. She's pretty much dead here. This is going to get me to a striker, and I'm just going to combo the striker in. It's going to go. I could have just let the striker go because the striker benefits from my unblockable, and it was guaranteed to land. But I just thought, you know, that didn't really do anything. There was no real reason for me to do that, but it's completely fine. We get through the fight, and that is the scariest fight of this war. By far. Here we have this Kingpin. He's on a node where if he shrugs off, he's A, going to go unblockable, and B, he's going to receive... That was nice. B, he is going to receive some combat power rate increases. The Energize is there. And I did get clipped a little bit off the start of the fight, but I did throw on an invuln boost specifically for this fight. Like, it had no other purpose than being for this specific fight. So, I'm not really worried about it, you know? Just trying to bait out a special here. Or, rather, wait out the the Unstoppable from the special. But now we are getting into a better rotation with Hood. I'm able to power steal. And here I'm going to get back up to my L2. As long as I keep throwing it, I can keep controlling his power. And you'll notice I'm getting really low on bullets here. The reason I'm not panicking is because my next fight is a Sersi, and she's going to shoot me straight back up the second she activates all her buffs. Because she activates a whole bunch of buffs at once. That's why I'm not worried, basically. But I do think I'm going to pause here and take off Mystic Dispersion. I'm 90% sure. Yeah. Okay, good. That's smart. You don't want to have both Mystic Dispersion and Power Back boosts for defenders such as Sersi, Gorr. There's a bunch of others, but I named those two because those are the two I'm taking in this war. I have a Gorr on node 48 coming up. But just a quick mastery change. The video was lagging, so I didn't want to skip it forward, but there I did. So this is Sersi on node 38. I think I took this in War 5. It was either 5 or 6. I don't remember. And it was something like a 28-29 second fight. I don't remember how this one went. I think it's similar to that. But yeah, you'll notice I used a couple heavy attacks in this fight for the sole purpose of getting a few bullets back. Although you'll notice I'm already back up to 18. I didn't exactly need them here. And I'm getting quite a bit of power back from the power back boost without any Mystic Dispersion, so that's pretty cool. But, of course, looking to end the fight pretty soon. She's getting a bunch of prowesses. But here, I'd go for a heavy, and then I'm going to go for my L2 right after. And just a heavy, and she will go down. So very, very safe fight. Sersi on this note is... I understand the placement, but if you're not banning Hood, you gotta expect Hood to just run right over it. There's really nothing that he does. So, here. I really considered stealing a few fights. Because I saw that jabs, and I'm like, I want that fight. And... it took me a few seconds to like calm down, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It's someone else's fight. I don't steal fights. Let's not do it. But I do want to mention for the record that if I was the one assigning this war, I would have assigned myself 10 fights in this war. I would have taken that Jabari Panther with Hood, and I would have taken that Arcus with Hood. I'm not the one that did the planning. I'm going to respect the plan, and I'm going to go straight to the boss island. But I can't lie, the thought to steal that Jabari Panther fight crossed my mind for more than a few seconds. But we are going to go straight ahead. No path stealing here. No fight stealing here. You know what? I got 8 fights this war. I'll take it. It's a good number of fights, and they're all fights that are at least mostly enjoyable. So we have this Adam Warlock here. This is just a terrible node for Adam Warlock. What does he do here? He's a dud. He does nothing on this node. In fact, he's not going to get to throw a single special. I'm going to nuke him with Hood before he has a chance to throw one special. I'm just going to L2 cycle him. I think I throw one more L2 and he just drops. Bro just dies. Like, it's absurd. Look at that! That was under 30 seconds. 28 seconds for a mini-boss Adam Warlock. Bro just melted. Okay, here we have this rank 3 Gorr. I am going to get caught once in this fight and get hit. And he's going to end the combo with a medium, which inflicts the DOT. But that's the only mistake in this fight. That's the only damage I take. You'll see what happens. This is a rank 3 7-star Gorr. It does take me a little bit to get the Indestructibles under control because I kept triggering Dex trying to make him block. And there. That's the one mistake I make in the fight right at the beginning. Now, I have one Indestructible, so I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I can't shut off the node, but at least I can continually pause the Indestructible, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. So now my ability to pause is gone. So I'm going to heavy. Bait out the L2 by tapping my light attack, which is something I do pretty often. It works really well. Now I have to remove the Indestructible. Gonna charge my heavy. You didn't want to go for it. That's fine. I have 2 prowesses. Medium, medium, heavy. Gorr goes down. And now we are on to the main fight of this war. The most fun fight of this war. Onslaught Boss. Why is Onslaught on the boss node? I don't know. He's not a good boss. But I understand the argument a little bit, because placing an Onslaught Boss basically just says to your opponent, if you have a player that can full dex Onslaught's SP1 consistently, it's a free solo. If you don't, it becomes very complicated, and you probably want to send someone like Havoc. My Battleground does have someone that can full dex his SP1 consistently. That's me. So, no lie, 5 minutes after we matched this alliance, I'm in my officer's DMs and I say, I don't care what it takes, assign me this boss. I gave him a list of champions I could do it with. This is literally what happened. This is exactly what happened. And I just said, give me this boss no matter what. And he did. So, I did get caught once at the very beginning. I got caught by the first hit of his heavy attack, because I outranged most of it. Maybe it was the last hit. But the end of it connected. So in this fight, basically what you want to do is you want to abuse Hulkling's power gain by hitting into the block, which actually gives you more power than it gives the other champion. And then other than that, the only hard thing in this fight, hard being a relative term, is dexing the L1. If you can dex his L1 consistently, he doesn't really do anything. And even if I were to get hit by one SP1, it wouldn't be enough to kill me. Like when I was discussing the fight with my officer, he said, can I at least get a duel video of like how you plan to take the fight? And I sent him a video of a duel with me using my rank 1 5-star Hulkling versus Onslaught, my 6-star rank 5 ascended, like a practice fight. And I said, essentially, if I can dex the L1 every time, the fight is free and there's nothing hard about it. And then I told him the only way I could die is if I would get hit by multiple special ones. And I said the chances of that happening are so small with how consistent I am at dexing it. Like, literally microscopic chances. When I was doing my practice duels to make sure I wasn't rusty on his L1 full dex, I didn't get hit by a single one in like 10 fights using a 5-star rank 1 versus a 6-star rank 5 ascended. So I know what I'm doing. It's basically what I'm saying. You're going to get your damage. You just got to be patient. There, the second time in the fight that I get hit by heavy, it inflicts that daunted. I don't really care because, yeah, it does increase damage from neuroshocks because it does increase damage from all sources. But who cares? Why? Because I just have to bait this heavy. He's dead. 2.5 minutes. Easy. So, is it better to place a meta-relevant boss? Yeah, probably, if you have the correct one to place. But I do understand, at least, the Onslaught bosses, because if you have a player that just has a really bad fight, or no one in the battleground happens to know how to full dex his L1 consistently, you can occasionally get a death off it, although I do think someone like Serpent is a better boss. But it's okay. It's okay. I'll take it. 8 fights, 7 of which were very good fights. And of course, that Onslaught boss is just so satisfying. I love using Hulkling's power gain in stuff other than Battlegrounds, where you have to rush because you can't really abuse it the same way. But in War, you can abuse it so well, and just you can get to like 2 bars before your opponent gets to 1 bar. Not really. With an SP1 boost you can, but I think it's something like you get 150% of the power, roughly. Like when you hit them in the block to get them to 1 bar, you're already at 1.5 from the power gain. It's absurd. And you see there, just take the fight slow, power gain, know what you're doing, and it's just a very easy fight with Hulkling. So we are, unfortunately, despite how well we started off this war with me being the first person to move, we did lose this war. It was close-ish. The final score was 14-19, and after our last war where we only died 9 times, over doubling that doesn't feel great, especially when we're facing an alliance of roughly the same caliber when it comes to their defense. I know we did triple KO in my BG to one fight, and that really heavily affected it because obviously that happened when the war was completely lost after they had already cleared and we had more deaths than them. So I assume the person just didn't boost and use small revives or something. So if you don't factor that in, it's a really close war. Like, it's a 2-death war. But who knows, right? Unfortunate loss. And there's some more bad news. Despite winning war number 7, Kabam has made the decision to remove it from the leaderboards, which means we are going to lose credit for the win in the season. And we are going to need to win all 3 of our last 3 wars to make Masters. We have to win every single one. If that win had stayed, we only had to win 2. But now we have to win all 3, which is just brutal. Like, that's so unlucky. I get there was a bug that the increased diversity points were applied one war earlier than they're supposed to be. But everyone didn't know that. No alliances had an advantage, so it just sucks that we got a win taken away from us because of that. And we just found out, like, we found out after War 9 ended that our win in War 7 doesn't count anymore. But I'm going to keep it in the stats for the purpose of, like, maintaining 9 wars are through. There's 9 wars on the record. But just note, one of those wins doesn't count because of Kabam being Kabam. I don't get why they just couldn't just leave it alone, because it just doesn't really affect anything enough. Like, the changes in diversity were so tiny when it comes to the points. If you want to correct the points, right? Like, take the diversity points everyone got and correct them all to the right spot and leave the winners the winners. Why is that not the logical solution? I don't get it. I'm going to stop rambling now because I'm going on for too long. But yeah, like I said, we are 4-5 on the season, and we do need to win all 3 of our last wars to make it into Masters. I have 5 deaths on the season so far, and my PSR is 55 out of 60 fights soloed, or a 92% solo rate, and my deathless streak is up to 16 fights. So, that is all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.